Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is Sudhir and you're watching Study with Sudhir, India's digital classroom. Today in this video, we are going to be discussing the ICSE Class 10 English language paper, the specimen paper release हुआ है website पर. Many of you would have seen it already, but along with solving the paper, I also want to give some tips to you on how to approach this particular paper. We have done this as part of a session on our course also on the SWS app, but for larger students of YouTube, I want to do this. Now, पहली बात तो ये है कि आपको कितना टाइम देना चाहिए for each one of the questions. My advice always is, and it's up to you whether you want to take it or not take it, but this is my advice. During the 15 minutes of reading time that you get, मेरी सलाह ये है that you should read the comprehension passage at least twice during that period of 15 minutes. Okay, you will of course decide which letter to attempt, which essay to attempt, whether you know some of the points for the essays, the grammar portion. If you have the time, you could look at that, but comprehension is something which you should say. And I say this for a very specific reason, because many people I find end up attempting the comprehension question right at the end, and summary may, because summary needs time, summary को complete mess up कर देते हैं. They end up writing 54 words या 47 words and not doing a good job of the summary, where you need to write 50 specific words. Okay, so my suggestion to you is to read the comprehension passage twice in those 15 minutes of reading time, and then attempt the comprehension straight away, because आपके दिमाग में fresh होगा. आप बीच में कहीं पर करेंगे तब आपको comprehension passage again 2 या 3 बारी पढ़ना पड़ेगा in order to remember. अब होगा ये कि आपने 2 बारी पढ़ा है, you start attempting the questions. At most you may have to go through it once more in order to ensure that you cover all the points in the questions that have been asked. So my advice is that comprehension question in the first 15 minutes read, and then you attempt. Comprehension should be first to be attempted, comprehension in 30 minutes. Okay, thereafter you move to the grammar portion. Okay, grammar portion according to me should not take, and this is also on the higher side, 15 minute maximum. इससे ज्यादा टाइम आपको लगना नहीं चाहिए. उसके बाद आइए नोटिस ईमेल पर. ओके, नोटिस ईमेल, इसमें आपको 20 मिनट का टाइम, उससे ज्यादा अगेन लगना नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज नोटिस ईमेल इज बेसिकली अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द फॉर्मेट एंड थिंकिंग ऑफ ए गुड क्रिएटिव टाइटल. क्रिएटिव टाइटल्स देने की प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, उसका अभ्यास कीजिए, दैट विल कम इन वेरी हैंडी. उसके बाद देन यू कम टू द लेटर राइटिंग. This also should not take more than 20 minutes, irrespective of whether you are attempting a formal or an informal letter. And finally, attempt the essay. इसमें आप 30 मिनट्स लगा सकते हैं, और बाकी का जितना भी टाइम बचे आपके पास, मेरे ख्याल से आपके पास अभी 1 hour, 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 55 minutes, आपके पास 5 मिनट का रिवीजन टाइम बच जाएगा, राइट? सो दैट शुड काइंड ऑफ टेक केयर ऑफ इट, राइट? 20 40 या ठीक है, 5 मिनट, right? So this should be, in my opinion, now some of you will say नहीं, मैं तो essay पहले attempt करूंगा. It's entirely your call, but according to me logically this is the way you should proceed, because essay में होता क्या है, if you have decided that you're going to attempt this particular essay, let's say an argumentative essay, while you are writing all these questions, आपके दिमाग में वो चलता रहेगा, because letter और essay is dependent on content. अगर आप पहले ही लिख देंगे, अगर आप लेटर या ऐसे पहले ही लिख देंगे, हो सकता है आपको लास्ट हाफ एन आवर में एक और पॉइंट याद है, अरे वो तो मेरा मिस हो गया, मैंने तो लिखा ही नहीं था, राइट? उसके बाद आप अगेन जाके उसमें पैराग्राफ इंसर्ट करेंगे, द होल थिंग विल बिकम ए मेस. सो सिंस दीज टू आर डिपेंडेंट ए लॉट अबाउट कंटेंट, द राइट काइंड ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन, तो आप उसको जितना पोस्टपोन कर सके उतना कीजिए, ताकि आपके बैक एंड पे वो चलता रहे, सॉफ्टवेयर चलता रहे कि उसमें ये पॉइंट होगा, उसमें ये फ्रेज यूज होगा. आप रफ पेज पे उस फ्रेज को लिख सकते हैं, उस एक्सप्रेशन को लिख सकते हैं, जिसका कि आप इस्तेमाल, यू विल मेक यूज ऑफ इट इन द essay or in the letter. So that's why I suggest this should be the format in which, the order in which you should go about the question paper. Okay, I am not going to get into too much of detail about the essays. My only submission to you is that if you are not into reading stories, right, if you are not good in the craft of storytelling, then Question number 1 and 2 you should not attempt at all, because both these are dependent on storytelling ability, that you are able to narrate a story and hold the other person's interest. So अगर आपको novels या short stories वगैरह पढ़ने की आदत नहीं है, तो मेरी सलाह ये होगी कि आप original short story और narrative को attempt ना कीजिए. You could go into looking at argumentative. इसमें content काफी strong होना चाहिए. Content बकवास लिख के आओगे तो कोई marks नहीं देगा आपको, 20 में से 7 या 8 marks ही मिलेंगे, right? तो content 4 to 5 solid points, a good intro, a good conclusion, जिसमें कि आप सीधा लिखेंगे कि this is my stand very clearly. All that is very important as far as an argumentative essay is concerned. Descriptive, again, अगर आपकी vocabulary weak है, then मेरी सलाह ये होगी कि आप इसको attempt ना कीजिए. Please test yourself ना. Like for instance, let's take an example. India has reached the moon, right? Let me give you a random example. India has reached the moon, right? Now you could write a short story about Vikram landing on the moon. What is Vikram doing? Now that can be an imaginative, almost like a science fiction kind of a story. Are you able to write a story like this? Test yourself. Are you able to narrate the last few moments as to what happened in the Space Control Center? Agar, if you were among the lakhs of people who were watching the live feed, कि उस समय पर क्या टेंशन हो रही थी, क्या एक्साइटमेंट हो रही थी, what was the reaction after that? If you are able to narrate it well. Argumentative, whether it makes sense for a country like India to invest in these kind of space missions, that can be an argumentative essay for or against. Descriptive, again talking about, you know, the science, this it has landed, what is it seeing around it, you know, whether you are good at describing something like this, whether you have the vocabulary and the ability to describe that. And finally, a photo feature, you can look at a photograph of the entire mission and you can write a photograph. This is about a school which is obviously in a dilapidated kind of a condition. These children sitting there and waiting, maybe waiting for the teacher. We are not sure if really she's the teacher, because she doesn't seem to be showing any interest in doing anything as far as these children are concerned. So, or you could write a report. इसके around आप एक कहानी बना सकते हैं या आप एक रिपोर्ट बना सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे तो उसमें डेटा डालेंगे तभी उसको वजन मिलेगा. It will have more weight. It will carry more weight only if you are able to put some relevant, realistic data. Data को कभी भी invent मत कीजिए. It doesn't take much time for the examiner to Google and find that तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो. So never create data. Only go by data which you are absolutely 100% sure about. Letter writing, we have done this. So pretty simple kind of a thing. Informal letter. This is a formal letter. So that's simple. This is again a very straight kind of thing. Creative title पर हमेशा ध्यान दीजिए. Now let's come to the comprehension passage. Now comprehension passage basically it's a question and answer. तो उसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं है. सारे डिटेल्स उसी पैसेज में ही दिए गए हैं. लेकिन आपको जो वो 3 synonyms और antonyms का जो सिलसिला है उस पर ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. इसीलिए जरूरत है कि आप एवरीडे एटलीस्ट एक नया वर्ड सीखें ताकि आपको आपकी वोकैबुलरी ज्यादा एनरिच हो. You need to be able to kind of understand what is the context in which it, like for instance study, what is the meaning of study, a word like study, अगर आपको वो समझ में नहीं आता है, at least in the context of the sentence आप देखिए, so that you make an intelligent guess in case if you are not able to understand, if you have no idea what the word means. So word meanings का test करना आपको जरूरी है in order to improve your own vocabulary. Do that with your friends, do that with your brother or sister, but make that as a fun exercise which you can do over a Saturday, Sunday also, right? अगर week में time नहीं है तो. So that is something which you need to do. Basement, for instance, यहाँ पे है line weight on the roof or in the loft or the basement. Now ये basement क्या है, right? It's the lowermost part of the building जो generally नीचे होता है कभी-कभी, you know, the -1 level. अगर इसके बजाय लॉफ्ट पूछा जाता तो लॉफ्ट क्या है? So you need to know this thing. So you know they expect a 15-year-old child to know these kind of meanings, which is why these kind of questions have been asked out there. So if you see the meaning, sturdy ka line 7, whether the synonym is brave, strong, compassionate or fixed, it's strong. Basement, the room at the bottom of the house. Agar loft hota, it would have been the room at the top of the house, right? And then the antonym of this, liabilities ka antonym is assets, right? So you need to know the synonyms and antonyms. Dictionary को अपना दोस्त बनाइए. कोई भी dictionary खरीदिए. Like for instance, I can see different dictionaries of different versions out here around me. So dictionary is something which you need to make it a habit, be it Oxford or be it Webster's, Cambridge, Collins, कोई भी dictionary खरीदिए, but एक डिक्शनरी को any page you flip, you will be able to find at least 2-3 words which you don't know. It's a 5 minutes exercise. जब भी free time हो, whenever you want to take a break, just look up the dictionary, you will learn a new word and start using it in your speaking or writing and make that as part of your vocabulary. That will really help you even as far as these 3 marks are concerned. Or you can invest in a thesaurus which will specifically talk about the synonyms and the antonyms. I can't see a thesaurus out there. I think it's the other room. Okay, so that will also again help you with that. Okay, जहां तक summary का सवाल है, you need to make a rough grid and then you make a fair grid. Rough grid because आपका हो सकता है कि जब आप इस क्वेश्चन को पहले just have that approach, इसमें कोई डरने की बात नहीं है, have that approach that I have to answer this question. Now this is a descriptive kind of a question. Describe the tiger's thoughts on how differently people behave inside and outside the circus. So answer the question. Answer करने के बाद including the keyword, जिस तरह से आप normally literature वगैरह में answer करते हैं, उसके बाद count कीजिए कि कितने words हुए. अगर आपके words हैं 53, then you see if there are 3 words which you can cut out and fit it into the 50 word का grid, then you make a fair grid, which is why they say a rough grid बनाना है और एक फेयर ग्रिड भी बनाना है. सो दैट्स हाउ. सो इसमें यू डोंट हैव टू बॉदर, बट एंश्योर पहले होता था कि 48 भी एक्सेप्टेबल होता था, 49 होता था, 51, 52, बट नाउ दे एक्सपेक्ट यू टू मेक एग्जैक्टली 50 वर्ड. सो यू नीड टू डू दैट रफ ग्रिड एंड देन गेट डाउन टू मेकिंग इनटू अ फेयर ग्रिड. ओके, नाउ लेट्स कम टू द ग्रामर पार्ट ऑफ इट, द टेंसेस. नाउ अगेन इसमें द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू ऑलवेज नीड टू डू इज टू लुक एट किस टेंस से शुरू हुआ है. तो यहां पर ऑलरेडी आपको बता दिया गया है दैट इट इज स्टार्टिंग विद पास्ट टेंस, राइट? इट इज स्टार्टिंग विद पास्ट टेंस वेयर रिकी टिकी न्यू बेटर. ओके, आपको ये बता दिया गया है कि ये पास्ट टेंस में है, राइट? इज नोइंग या वॉस नोइंग नहीं बोला गया है, न्यू बेटर आपसे बताया गया है. सो दिस इज हाउ इट स्टार्ट्स. सो रिकी टिकी वाज एंग्री. यू विल हैव अ लुक एट इट एंड देन वी विल वर्क ऑन this particular solution. So Rikki Tikki was angry. He sat back on his tail and hind legs and dashed all around him. Dash with rage. Right? तो यहां पर new है, तो यहां पर he looked around him. Right? Here it will come to because this non-finite, right? Chattering with rage, यानी कि गुस्से से उसके दांत kind of आवाज कर रहे थे, right? It's a non-finite form. But Nag and Nagina dash already into the grass. Now this has happened before, so it's a past perfect tense. So it will come to had disappeared already into the grass. When a snake misses its stroke, it never dashes anything or dash. So yahan par what is it saying? When a snake misses its stroke, it's stating a general fact. So it will be, it never says anything or GIVES gives anything, because again it is stating a specific fact. So yahan par it will be gives any sign of what it means to do next. Rikki Tikki did not care to follow them, for he did not dash sure that he dash managed 2 snakes at once. So here he could not feel sure that he could आएगा, because there is an element of doubt. So could not can manage 2 snakes at once. So he trotted का मतलब चला गया off the gravel path, off to the gravel path. ग्रेवल मतलब जहां पर मिट्टी वगैरह होती है, कंकड़ वगैरह होते हैं, एंड सैट डाउन टू थिंक. इट वाज अ सीरियस मैटर फॉर हिम, राइट? सो दिस इज एज फार एज द टेंसेस, नॉट अ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स काइंड ऑफ अ पैसेज. यू शुड हैव बीन एबल टू डू दैट वेरी वेल. माय सिस्टर एंड आई गेट डैश अलोंग विद ईच अदर. नाउ हियर यू विल यूज अलोंग. गेट ऑन, हालांकि द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट गेट ऑन के दूसरे भी मीनिंग्स हैं, बट गेट ऑन ऑल्सो मे जस्ट बी एक्सेप्टेबल, बट आई वुड go along with get along more, it would be preferable. Okay, Minnie plays basketball dash her friends. This is pretty easy, with her friends. It has been 20 years since for from to का हमेशा याद रखिए. I give a lot of it as part of the community page poll. I hope you subscribe so that you take part every day. 1 or 2 questions I put it out there. So please, we have done some 34 questions so far. So please do subscribe and take part in that community poll. Growing up, we were looked after, यानी कि हमारी देखभाल की गई. Most students take the bus to school. This is very, very simple. These are all fixed propositions, so you should not have any problem with this. The cricket match was put off, यानी कि उसको postpone किया गया because काफी बारिश थी, तो उसको put off. Put off, this is a phrasal verb. इसका so आपसे at least 2 या 3 phrasal verbs तो पूछे जाएंगे out of 8. Okay, तो आपको phrasal verbs के काफी सारे वीडियोस YouTube चैनल पर किए गए हैं. Please have a look at them. You will find them useful. Roy backed out, यानी कि वो वहां से निकल गया. This is again a phrasal verb. I have been training under her for the past 2 years. Okay, since the past 2 years नहीं, अगर यहाँ पर since 2021 होता, then यहाँ पर since होता, लेकिन यहाँ पर past 2 years है. Okay, a period of time, तो यहाँ पर for का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा. अगर ये होता I trained under her from 2021 to 2023, तो from and to का इस्तेमाल होता. So please understand the difference between when what is used. We placed our order late, we received the food on time. Now, despite placed our order, no, it will not be, ये तो गलत हो जाएगा. Despite we placed our order late, we will not use we का इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे, तो this is also wrong. Despite of us, we don't use of after despite, so ये भी गलत है. So this is the right one, the option number B. The music stopped, the audience left the auditorium. The music stopped, the audience left the auditorium. Hardly had the music stopped, so इसमें ये इसका इस्तेमाल नहीं होगा, so this is wrong. Hardly had the music stopped, then the audience, hardly के साथ then का इस्तेमाल नहीं होता है, when का इस्तेमाल होता है, so this is also wrong. Hardly had the music stopped since the auditorium left this thing. This is not used, so this is also wrong. So this is the right one. Hardly had the music stopped when the audience left the auditorium. So you need to, even if आपको देखने से A ठीक है लगे, I'm just giving an example. B, C और D options को भी ध्यान से देखिए because उसमें कहीं googly हो. So you need to be very sure about that. You cannot enter the club. You do not have a membership. Tell me. You cannot enter the club. You do not have the membership. आप तब तक क्लब एंटर नहीं कर सकते हैं जब तक आपके पास मेंबरशिप नहीं हो. Except if, unless का मतलब है except if you have a membership, right? So option A is the right one. You cannot enter the club since you do not have. इसमें because का सेंस नहीं है, unless का इस्तेमाल करना है, unless you have this thing. That is the condition, right? यहाँ पर since you do not have होता, then it would have been kind of okay. Okay, since you do not have a membership, उस वजह से तुम क्लब को में दाखिल नहीं हो सकते. You cannot enter the club whereas you have a membership. This is wrong. You cannot enter the club if you have a membership. This is also wrong. Okay, if you do not have a membership, this would have been right, right? She was very late. She could not catch the train. She was too late to catch the train. She was so late to catch the train. She was too late to catch the train. And she was as late. So this is the right one, option C. The burglar ran away the moment he saw the guard. बताओ इसका कौन सा होगा? फर्स्ट का कौन सा होगा? नो सूनर, हैज तो नहीं होगा. नो सूनर देन यहां का इस्तेमाल नहीं होता है. नो सूनर डिड द बर्गलर सी द गार्ड व्हेन ही रैन अवे. नो सूनर हैड द बर्गलर सीन द गार्ड देन ही रैन अवे. नाउ इसमें गुगली ये है कि इसमें व्हेन का इस्तेमाल नो सूनर के साथ नहीं होता है. नो सूनर के साथ देन का इस्तेमाल होता है. हार्डली के साथ व्हेन का इस्तेमाल होता है. ये सब चीजें ध्यान रखो. अनदर थिंग दे मे आस्क, दे मे पुट देन इन ऑर्डर टू कंफ्यूज यू, राइट? तो इस चीज का हमेशा ध्यान रखो. सो इसका डी ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. द पेरेंट्स हैव ट्रेन्ड देयर चिल्ड्रन वेल. द चिल्ड्रन वर ट्रेन्ड वेल बाय देयर पेरेंट्स. द चिल्ड्रन इज बीइंग, इसको एक्टिव टू पैसिव करना है. द चिल्ड्रन इज बीइंग ट्रेन्ड वेल बाय द थिंग. सो दिस इज रॉन्ग डेफिनेटली. द चिल्ड्रन हैड बीन ट्रेन्ड वेल बाय देयर पेरेंट्स. ये हैव है यहां पर, सो यहां पर भी हैव बीन होगा. सो दिस इज द right option. Option 2 का D. My cousins returned home 1 month ago. It has been 1 month for my cousins. No, it has been 1 month since. Yes, it has been one when my cousins return home. That my cousins return home. ये B और D में confuse मत होइए. The correct option is option B. It has been 1 month since my cousins returned home. Your form will be accepted if it is submitted on time. Now यहाँ पर condition क्या है इस बात का ध्यान रखिए. Okay, इसमें condition क्या है? That unless your form is submitted on time, कि except if your this thing is signed, it will not be accepted. So this is the condition. So the condition needs to be put out first. You know, unless you reach the exam on time, exam hall on time, you will not be allowed to write the examination. So this is the condition. इस condition के fulfill होने के basis पर ही तुमको ये fulfill होगा. So this is important in order to achieve this. So that order has to be achieved, which is why unless your form is submitted on time, it will not be accepted. Option B. The house needs a thorough cleaning again. Thoroughly. The house needs a thoroughly cleaning again. No. The house needs a cleaning thoroughly again. No. The house needs to be cleaned thoroughly again. The house needed to be thoroughly cleaned yet again. Fifth ka option C. Fifth ka option C. My sister offered a new job in her company. A new job was offered to me by my sister in her company. Sixth का A. Option A is the right one in the thing. B, C, D भी देख लो. A new job has been offered to me by my sister in her company. Was offered है ना? Offered की बात की गई है. A new job had been offered. A new job was being offered. It is not a continuous tense. I'm going to watch my friends play tomorrow. She said. Direct to indirect. Direct to indirect के हम काफी सारे exercises करते हैं on our Ashwin and Virat course. So any of you who want to be part of it and take part in a lot of grammar exercise that we keep on doing different parts very, very thoroughly, that's the course for you to join. She said that she's going to watch her friends play tomorrow. She said that she was going to watch her the following day. Now, isme tomorrow will always become the following day. So, isme option D is the correct one. Okay, tomorrow to reject ho gayi. Isme following day kiya gaya hai. She said that she was going to watch. My nahi hoga. My will become her friend. So option D is the right one. Last one. Nitin is more talented than most of the professional musicians I know. Few. Professional musicians I know have few talents as Nitin. No. Few professional, because few will qualify the professional musicians. Few professionals I know are as talented as Nitin. काफी कम लोग हैं जो कि नितिन जितने प्रतिभाशाली हैं. They are as talented as Nitin. So 8th का B option is the right one. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the discussion of the English language paper, specimen paper. I hope you found it useful. This is how you need to approach it, your preparation, how you should, in what order you should attempt the questions, and grammar. The more you practice, the better you will get at it. That's the only way to do it. If you are part of the course, even better. But if you're not part of the course, no problem. Look at any book, but go with books which have a reliable and relevant answer key. That is again something very useful, because only then you will be able to, you'll be learning the right things. क्योंकि अगर answer key गलत होगा, तो फायदा नहीं है फिर. Then you will be learning the wrong things and you will be making a mistake in the exam also, because you will think कि मैंने उस book में तो ऐसे ही पढ़ा था. Okay, thank you very much. Tata, bye bye. Share, support, subscribe.